Talking to Steve Wyche, outstanding reporter and talent on the NFL Network. He's on Twitter, obviously, at Wyche89 every Monday. NFL Network's The Aftermath. That's at 3 Eastern. This Sunday, he's going to be live from Minnesota. Game day, so he's going to be getting up early with the crew, 7 Eastern, and he's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Now, you mentioned the analytics that are happening in some teams, and you see it with the Cleveland Browns hiring DePodesta, who is a Major League Baseball guy but can maybe bring a philosophy. You also see a team like the 49ers who have a very young, effective owner in Jed York who, is trying to figure it out. And so it seems like some of the dysfunction that's in the front office is trickling down to the product on the field. How many teams are actually like that? Because I think we want to always put blame on coaches and players when some of it can be top down. You know what I mean?
Well, look where the teams that keep changing coaches. It's from the top down. I mean, look at Cleveland. They Jimmy Haslam is a young owner. When I say young, a newer owner who's trying to figure it out. We've seen other owners when they take over teams like Arthur Blank or whatever. They're fans. It takes them 5 or 6 years to figure out how to run an organization how to be successful. But it's Miami. These teams that continually churn through coaches. There's no real philosophy. They either do stuff kind of in an old business model, or they're trying to reinvent the wheel, or they have no patience. And it's the same teams all the time. Tennessee. These are franchises and clubs, and it happens in every sport where there's just not stability at the top. And even though it may not necessarily trickle down to the locker room, philosophically, things do. I mean, after a year or two, players get jaded. You've been in locker rooms, Tiki, where guys are like, this isn't working.
Yep.
But look what they've been able to do in Oakland now. You talk about a team that's kind of gotten out of it. They were in a rut for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Del Rio goes in. Reggie McKenzie goes in. They've got some good young players there. They're coming out of it. So it's not impossible, but it's got to take, a change in leadership, owners to know their weaknesses, to hire the right people, and to try to really change the culture, which is a very difficult thing to do if at the top they don't know how to do it.
Steve, speaking of hiring, Tom Coughlin, he's looking for work. I think he's still got the bug, and I think most people would agree with that. We know Chip is going to coach somewhere. Are either men or one of the two men coaching in the NFL next season? And if so, where do you think that might be?
Very interesting. I continue to say, and this is just me thinking, that things are being set up for Chip to go to Cleveland. You're hearing about all these analytics guys. Chip's one of these new age outside the box thinkers as well. And to me, that's where, they loved him before he decided to go to Philadelphia. I think that's where he could end up. Tom Coughlin, not so sure. And, I hate to say it, but I've seen some teams are worried that if they want to hire a coach, Tom Coughlin at his age, if he's somebody who's going to want to be there 3 or 4 years from now, I think that's going to be a concern. But let's not forget, Lovie Smith is now on the market as well.
Yeah.
I mean, our team's going to sniff around him based on him getting bounced after just 2 years and winning just 8 games. So it'll be very intriguing to see if any of these guys get another shot. But I do think Chip Kelly, I don't think he's high on a lot of teams' list, but just something's telling me that what Cleveland is doing is kind of building an environment to bring him in.
Now, there's a couple of ways to look at where you get new head coaches. Some of them in the college ranks, these young kids, not young, not a lot of them are young, like Kevin Sumlin or even David Shaw. But bringing a guy from college, or you go with the older retreads, like let's say Shanahan. Which one do either of those guys get jobs? Those college guys, or some of these older head coaches are looking to get back into the mix?
I don't think we're going to see a college guy, because in talking to general managers, the guy everybody wants is David Shaw at Stanford. They just think he's got the personality type to deal with any market. Like, he's a guy who could come to the Giants, deal with the New York media market, deal with existing talent, build good talent, and be successful. But he just doesn't want to leave his situation at Palo Alto. It's probably more of a case of one of these retreads, these veteran coaches getting another chance. But I think these teams are still looking at some of these coordinators. Hugh Jackson in Cincinnati is going to have an opportunity to be a head coach. I think he gets a job. Adam Gase from the offensive coordinator in Chicago, he probably gets one of these jobs. We'll see. I mean, maybe if Dirk Cutter leaves Tampa Bay, they bring in someone like a Mike Shanahan. But he's going to want complete control of things.
Yeah,
and he's not going to come cheaply either. So. It just all depends on your organizational philosophy. But again, the problem with these owners, when they fire coaches, a lot of times they don't have an ironclad plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and get caught not being able to hire the right person.